Are your cards bent like these or even worse? Well guys, make sure you stick around the whole video because we're going to show you how we can potentially rescue your bent cards. Guys, welcome back. It's Percy here from P4C. As you saw in the intro today, we actually tested a few methods to see which method is the best in terms of potentially rescuing your bent cards. I know bent cards are some of the problem that a lot of you guys have experienced right now or in the past, so we decided to run a few tests to see which method potentially is the best. In 2021, we are going to do a few of these ad hoc videos where we run a few tests. I'm sure some of you guys have questions, whether you are a collector who is coming back into the game or a brand new collector. So hopefully these videos with these tests will answer some of your queries. Alright, before we go into our methodology and our test result, guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe, and then after you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell for the latest videos and updates. We are going to run a special project towards the end of Jan and possibly into February. Unknown about the date as yet, just because there are a lot of new sets coming out in between those period of time. So we wanted to make sure the period and the time is just right for everyone. So guys, hit that bell, make sure you subscribe. All right. Without further ado, let's go and talk a little bit more about bent cards and the experiments that we ran. Alright, before we show you guys the methodology and the experiments that we ran, it is pretty important to talk about the quality or the types of bent card, because we have two types here. One, which is these two, are what we call naturally bent, and then the second one is this one here, this Hitmon Lee here, which you can say is intentionally or manually bent. Now, these type of bent cards we're not going to be able to say, because you can see the creases here. I would almost say it is virtually impossible for us to save this type of cards. So we're not David Copperfield here. We don't know any super magic where we're going to save these type of cards. So unfortunately, if you have cards like this, maybe save it for your binder collection, or potentially sell it off, or even have to throw it away. Now, for these bent cards, and the major cause of these bent cards is typically humidity. If you live in humid places like myself here in Hong Kong, likelihood a majority of your hollow cards are bent like this. And the reason being, as I've been told, the hollow foil unfortunately does not absorb water or moisture as much as the ordinary cardboard. So that's why cards curl up like these, as you can see here, some more so than other. And this is typically the cases where people may have forgotten to sleeve up their card and put them into a binder, which we'll do a video on how I particularly look after or protect my cards. But these cards here, I've actually left it out and have not put it in any binder, just to show you guys. And of course, I actually have a bunch of these energy cards here. These are all energy cards from the tag All-Star, and you can see they all have curled up. And again, the reason being, I live in a very humid place in terms of location, and the area that I live in are quite humid as well. Now, in order to obviously prevent this from happening, I would highly suggest you guys to use sleeves, penny sleeves, to sleeve these cards up and then put it in a folder with a zip. And then after that, if you want to take extra precautions, you can use these I don't know what they call, but you use them to dry up your closed closet. Those are the type that you wanted to be investing, and obviously try to put them in dry and cold places where they're not exposed to the sun or moisture. Alright guys, it's 28th of December right now, 6:22 at night, and we are going to timestamp these so you guys know what would be the result after 1 week and a bit when we put these bent cards into folders and top loaders. So here we go. So we've got 3 cards here, a little bit zoomed out, but what we are going to do is firstly put one in a top loader, one in a folder, and then one in a folder, and then we're gonna press it with other folders on top and on the bottom as well. Alright, the first card here is the Gala EX, and what we're going to do first, before we put it into a top loader, is put a sleeve. And these sleeves are actually called perfect sleeve. As the name suggests, they fit the card perfectly. So you can see here, because the card is bent, the sleeve itself is also bent, but what it should do is it should fit the card perfectly. And what we're going to do as well, we need to get a tab, just because it's quite hard to pull the card out. So we'll put a tab on the sleeve, and then what we're going to do is insert this particular card into the top loader. Now we are going to leave the card in there for 1 week, and what we will do as well is we might actually put some heavy objects on top and the bottom to press it and see if the cards will be a little bit more straight after 1 week time. Alright, the second one that we have is a Mega Sceptile EX here. Again, we're going to put it in a perfect sleeve here, and you can see here I have a folder which I use for my collection purpose. So you can see here J stand for Japanese, so we have the base, jungle, fossil, rocket in this particular folder. But I'm not showing you guys the cards, but what I wanted to show you guys is, because this particular folder is almost completely filled, so we've got some weight on this particular folder, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this Mega Sceptile here. Hopefully it captures it on screen, and then we are going to close the folder, zip it, and not open it for another week, and let's see just by using the cards in the folder alone how flat the card can or potentially will become in 1 week time. Alright, for this Gala EX card, we are also putting it in the folder, so let's leave this up first. This folder is also quite filled. This particular folder here contains some of the cards that I purchased in Japan, which didn't quite make it to the grading pile, but they are all in here. And when I say quite full, there it should be quite full, but I'm just trying to pick a middle point. Maybe that particular page, maybe this page here, so what we are going to do is, again, sliding this gaily right in there, and then we are going to close it. And then what we're actually going to do as well is to put 2 of the same size folder, or 2 or 3 on top, and then 2 or 3 on the bottom. Again, leave it for 1 week. Let's see how flat the card can potentially get.
1 week later.
Alright, it's now 6:01 p.m. and it's the 4th of Jan, and Monday is approximately 1 week since we put those cards away. Now let's give you guys an insight of how we've done in terms of test result. Now for the card that was in the top loader, we actually put it on the bottom of these Elite Trainer box here. So I'm gonna just slide them out here at the bottom, see if it works. A bit of a work here, but hopefully I don't knock everything over. Here we go. Here's one of the card. We put it in the top loader with, you can say, with 3 ETB boxes weight, and let's see, along with the other 2 cards, how it performed. All right. One of the other card is actually in one of these folders here, which we use the pressure of the folder and along with pressure from other folder in order to test which one would be better. So I think I'm just going to pull one out and then let's go from there. Let's see the result. So we put 1 card in this particular binder. Again, this is what I'm talking about in terms of zipped up folder. So you can see all the cards here. Now, where is that particular card though? I just need to make sure I know or remember where it is. Oh, here it is, the Mega Sceptile here. All right, because we put it right in the middle of this, and we only use the pressure of the cards that are in this folder. So let's see the results here. Now, comparatively, is still a little bit bendy, I would say, but I think it is much better than it was originally in terms of the bend. Maybe if we left it in there for a longer period, we can eventually flatten it out. So hopefully this you if you guys are thinking of using your folder and just using the natural forces of the cards, this is the result. All right, secondly, we have this one here. Now again, you can see in the video, previously we used this folder here and we used the pressure from the cards, actually, as well as the pressure from various other folders or binders as well. So this particular folder was sandwiched in between, I would say, 2 or 3 from the top and from the bottom as well. Now again, the bend on this card is probably, again, is obviously much better than what it was previously. Still a bit of a bend though, as you can probably see the gap. I'm not sure if you guys can see, maybe zoom it in a little bit, you can see the gap between the card and the sleeves. So it's still a bit of a gap, but overall, I would actually say both, whether you use pressure from other folders or not, it looks like they are producing this kind of the same results. Right, last but not least, this gale here, where we used a top loader and then we put it right at the bottom on where there are 3 elite trainer boxes, and these elite trainer boxes obviously open, they're sealed, so they have all the weight there is on there. So let's just pull it out. If you ask me, I actually think all 3 of them have performed relatively the same. Now, I gotta say, I would say unless you use an iron to flatten these cards out, it will almost be impossible to straighten it like they were in the packet. But I actually think the top loader plus the weight actually works out to be the best in terms of result, because just again, this is judging by my naked eye here, seems like the gale works out the best. If you don't want your cards to bend, it is really crucial, especially if you're in a very humid place, to take care of your cards firstly when they are out of the package. Rather, if you leave them out, likelihood they will bend like this. Not the end of the world, because PSA will still grade your cards, and I'm sometimes don't think, I might be wrong here, the bend will affect the grading. It might not, but if you really need to rescue your bend cards, maybe try using it these sort of method and see if it helps. Now, I've only put these cards in their places for 1 week. Normally, if they bent like this, I would actually try to leave it in there for at least 2 to 3 weeks, or even up to a month. I will occasionally check it just to see how much they continue to be bent. 1 week, and we already seen some really good result, and it's actually really hard to tell which one works the best, but you can say all three methods work. So here we go. All right, as a result, I personally think all 3 method works. It's just that you probably need to put the cards or use these methods just a little bit longer. Like I said, 1 week I don't think is long enough. I would actually do it 2 to 3 weeks and occasionally check on them to see the progress. And if you really ask me, traditionally I've used folders, but judging from the effect of the top loaders, I might actually try that as well. But the most important lesson here is that you make sure when you pull your cards out of the pack, and if that card means something to you and or worth a lot of money, make sure you sleeve it up and put it in the folder, preferably a folder with a zip, ASAP, and store it in a nice and cool and dark place. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this particular video. If you did, make sure you give us a like on this video or any of our other content. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and then after you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell for the latest videos and updates. All right, until next time, may the God of Pools be with you always.